Today on JiK Labs, we're looking at the logic functions and, or, as well as not. Let's get started. Right, now that we have Excel open up and ready to go, we're going to look at some logic functions today. More specifically, and, or, and not. And what these do is for and, it looks at two logic tests or more, and if everything comes back true, it reports true. If not, it reports false. Or looks at logic test 1 and logic test 2, and if either one of those are true, it reports true. If both are false, it reports false. Not looks at the logic test. For example, 4 is 4 greater than 50, which it is not, and it reports true. Let's look at each of these equations starting with and. Just like any equation in Excel, we're going to equals and, open the parentheses, and our first logic test is we're going to say is our low number, which is A6, greater than our low number. And we're going to lock that cell into place, and then we're going to separate the logic tests by comma. And then once again, we're going to say is B6 less than the high number, and close the parentheses. We'll hit enter, and it says false. So let's look at this equation. It's saying is 4 greater than 50, which it is not, and is 21 less than 90, which it is. Since it is an and function, it reports false because both logic tests are not true. Let's just copy this guy down. We're going to, on the very first line of equations, we're going to put the apostrophe so you can see the equation. So now you can see the equation, and all the equations down below are referencing the same values as the equation above. So or is the same exact thing, equals or, open parentheses. Our first logic test will be the same as and. We're going to say A6 is greater than the low number of B1, commas, and then we're going to say our high number, which is B6, is less than our high set number, which is, in this case, 90 at the moment. Lock that equation into place, or lock that cell reference into place, and close the parentheses. We're going to hit OK, and we see that this is true. Why is this true now? Because we have A4 is not greater than 50, but 21 is less than 90. So it had one of the logic tests came back true, so the whole or function is reporting true. Let's copy this down just to see it in function. And as you can see right now, everything for or is reporting as true. We'll put in the parentheses so we can look at that equation to see the differences. Let's change our set numbers. Let's go with 12 and 72. Well, now everything is still true except for line 9. In our equation, you'll see that we just said greater than or less than. We never said greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. So 12 is not greater than 12 and 72 is not less than 72. Both of those logic statements came back as false, so or is reporting false because it doesn't have one positive. Let's put these numbers back to 50 and 90. And now all the ors are true. Now, with these logic tests and an or, you can have many different logic tests. For this example, we're using 2 for each, but you can keep going. Now let's look at not. Equals not. And we're going to say, is the low number greater than the set low number? Which it is not, and it reports true. Let's copy this down. And again, we're going to come in here and add in the apostrophe so we can see those equations. So with not, we're looking at A6 or we're looking at the low numbers, and we're saying, is those low numbers greater than 50? So 55 is greater than 50, so it says false. 12 is less than 50, so it says true. False gives you the inverse answer. It changes false to true and true to false. Just keep that in mind. Think of it as opposite day, but not really. Thanks for joining JiK Labs today as we explored the logic functions and, or, and not in Microsoft Excel. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join us next week when we learn how to nest these functions and an or into the if function. See you then. True, true, true. Well, true, true. False, true. Cut that part out. So, very interesting stuff.